All right, Bradley's here. Yeah, Bradley Shende, ConnectedLife. How are you?
I'm very good.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
How was it?
CES was crazy. It is crazy every year. I mean, it's the geek Super Bowl, right? So it is, a juggernaut of partying and launches and announcements and all that sort of thing. Right. It always takes a couple segments to sort of cover the ground of what was announced there and what has been going on. But in this case, we covered some things last week, and it seemed like these curved TVs were a really big hit, right? And then, again, CES is reinventing the past sometimes. Like curved TVs have been around before, right? Right. But they curved that way, and now they're curving this way, and it's just like what's old is new again.
But they're thin now.
Yeah, they look cooler.
They look cooler and whatnot. But you remember, one of the things that's being revisited is virtual reality. Remember those crazy goggles?
Headsets, yeah.
Remember that stuff?
Yeah.
Well, it's back in a big way. And
was that Ferris Bueller's? Remember the guy who was playing that on those little, had the headsets on?
Yeah, was that in a Ferris Bueller thing?
I think it might have been Ferris Bueller.
I don't remember that. But anyway, here it is.
Here it is, sort of 3.0, if you will, and it was led
that's weird.
in part by a company called Oculus Rift, which announced their new prototype, the Crystal Cove. In this case as well, you're looking at other competitors too, like Sony's in the game as well. And look at these reactions that people are having to this. Obviously, it's an immersive experience based on just the reactions you see from people here. It's quite hysterical. Yeah. So this also dovetails into augmented reality and what's happening with Google Glass.
Yeah.
And there were several Google Glass competitors that showed up at CES. So everybody's looking at this way to sort of augment or impose another reality on what we perceive. And I think,
isn't reality kind of just cool all on its own?
I'm with you. I'm like, do we really? I'm a bit of a naysayer here. Do we really need to do that? And there's also some arguments around how we really need to perceive things. One of those prototypes you saw is actually projecting on your retinas. So it's actually, you're not looking at a visual display, you're looking at light projected through reflected mirrors onto your retina to truly change what you perceive.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I think that one of the things is we're never gonna, I'm never gonna fly a Boeing 747 or 777 or anything like that, but if you can do it virtually, which many people can, it makes it kind of cool, I guess. That's where I'm never gonna drive a race car in an F1, but if you can do it virtually, maybe
Don't say never, maybe
absolutely.
That's right. Yeah,
and I mean, there's a form factor thing too. If you can have small glasses that recreate an 80-inch television from 8 feet away, I mean, that's a viewing experience you get from a small cramped space. Maybe that's cool.
Okay, next up.
Moving right along, it's so true right now, I guess, that bendy is the new flat. So they got the bendy TVs, they curve around, they move like that, and now phones are going to do the same thing. So LG announced the Flex phone, and what is neat about this phone is it's not just curved, it bends. And it's scratch resistant. So this I like. If they can build phones that are stronger, scratch resistant, and just break less often, sign me up, right? Because how many times have you broken a phone? I'm guilty.
I just put a weight on my phone the other day and broke it.
Right. This is what I do every day at home in the kitchen.
But yeah, people I'm sure would love to have more, especially screens, because how many people have a broken screen phone? Lots.
A friend of mine makes a very, very handsome living just driving around town replacing people's iPhone screens.
Really?
Right? Yeah. Just doing that one specific
maybe
thing,
this will
right?
put them out of business.
Yeah, the next trend, everything was smart or connected. It was like the internet or the web of everything, like my coffee cup. Like they had a smart toothbrush. Like, who needs that? Who needs that?
Yeah, tells you when, if you're brushing correctly
or whatnot.
Like that?
And Sony had a tennis racket that analyzed your swing. I could see people getting into that too.
Yeah.
But there was also a slow cooker that was automated and had Wi-Fi. And do you really need a crock pot that's got Wi-Fi?
Why not?
Like, are we running out of new ideas? So, but there were a couple things around the home appliance and the wearable computing that I thought were pretty neat. Nest, who made a smart, intelligent thermostat, has a smart, intelligent smoke alarm.
Yeah.
Now, this starts to make a lot of sense with their smoke alarm, connecting the entire home because you're monitoring your home much more intelligently, right? And it does a lot more than there's a lot of appliances that just could be improved upon. Like wave your hand and turn the thing off instead of getting on a stair to like I've ripped mine off the ceiling, right?
I know.
To turn it off. And it blinks to tell you if it's monoxide or regular smoke, or it tells you, and it also lights up at night. So these types of intelligent devices that are coming into your home to do a lot more. They even had a bed that the Sleep Number beds have smart beds that will monitor your sleep. And let's say you're a couple and one of you snores. it will allow the person to detect the other person and move them up.
Okay.
Like, right, to raise their level to reduce the snoring.
Oh, excellent.
Right? So it actually has that built in, and it'll monitor your sleep patterns through night and report on your sleep patterns, how much moving, tossing, and turning, which can measure, you know, the REM states and the different active states that are all part of you getting a proper rest, right?
All right, social network jelly, quickly.
Oh, and the big announcement that was sort of apocryphal to CES was Bizstone of Twitter fame, on the same week of CES, announced the latest, greatest social network, Jelly. Now, Jelly is a simple social network where amongst your peers, you take a photo of something, anything, and in this example, you say, hey, what is that? Right? And from your extended social network, you might get many answers. So it's kind of like Yahoo Answers and Wikipedia done with photos, right? And so you can share images because you might not know the answer to that weird question, what is that vegetable? But somebody else and a friend of a friend might know. So it builds this conversation around what is that? What are we doing? Does anybody know why? So and so, and lets the crowd answer the question. So it's a novel idea.
Okay.
We'll see if it takes off. Jelly.
All right, ConnectedLife.com for more information from Bradley.
They think of the craziest things.
They do.
8:27. Let's check in with Caitlin for some traffic.